right there, Nicole Scherzinger. Come here, my baby. And yeah, well, that's what she's saying. That's what she's
Or in
saying.
the words of Miguna, come baby, come.
Yes. Today we are being told to stop being, word of the day, suffocatingly duplicitous. Underline. Miguna with us in the studio. And Miguna, quick question. How do you define the line between instigating and being opinionated?
Opinionated means you have opinions. And I think every one of us, if we are thoughtful, if we are independently thoughtful, and we are not robots, then we should all be opinionated. There is nobody who is not opinionated. You can either be highly opinionated, or moderately opinionated, or lowly opinionated. Being opinionated is not a bad thing, because everybody has an opinion. All our perspectives, all our views are opinions. There is nothing, there is nobody, there is no God that can say whatever I say is the truth, the ultimate truth. So when somebody attacks another person as opinionated, they're just being dishonest. Because even to say you are opinionated is an opinion. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, instigating is to precipitate, to stir things up. Mm-hmm. Now, you can stir things up for the wrong reason, or you can stir things up for the good reason. For example, when Wangari Maathai was instigating rebellion against Moi, when Moi wanted to take over Uhuru Park, that was good instigation. Mm-hmm. But you can also instigate violence, which is bad. You can also instigate hatred, which is bad. So it depends on what you are instigating. These are neutral English words that mean nothing unless they are used in a context.
Right.
Yes.
So your book doesn't instigate or doesn't push for a certain opinion?
This one is trying to, first of all, expose wrongdoing among our leaders, expose wrongdoing, expose the rot, the corruption, the tribalism, the nepotism, the abuse of power that is practiced in the corridors of power, which is where I worked, with a view of deforming it, meaning you decompose it, you destroy it so that you can build something better. Before you are able to deform something, before you are able to destroy wrong things, you cannot build a good one. Because you cannot build a good house out of one which is falling down. You have to uproot it first and then build a new one. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to deform the institutions that are rotten, legal institution, the judiciary, and I've critiqued them in the book with a way to trying to find means of transforming them for the benefit of all. So really mine is a national patriotic agenda. It's not a parochial selfish one, as my detractors would try to portray. But you know, truth is bitter. Anytime you try to say something that people do not want to hear, they would rather attack you rather than deal with what you're saying.
Well, actually, Miguna, if I may, let's go there, because a lot of the attacks that you have had, or the experiences that you have had after publishing Peeling the Mask and now after this book, have been directed at you personally, some of which are the allegation that you are in fact a traitor to the cause, such as it was in quotes, by having been in such a close and privileged position to the Prime Minister and then going out and exposing him in this way, and also because of your ethnic background. Right.
Now, a lot of people assume that because I'm Luo, I must support Raila Odinga. There is nothing like that, and we shouldn't bring a country up. We shouldn't encourage that in this country. Even the Constitution does not allow it. To be president, for example, you must get support 50% plus one. There is no community in Kenya which comprises demographically 50% of the population plus one. So you must get support from other communities. Secondly, you must win at least from 24 out of 47 counties. And there is no community that lives in 24 counties. And the majority, you must get 25% out of these 24 counties. And there is no community that traverses that. Then three is that a traitor to what? Because I was not working for a person. I've always worked for a cause. If you recall, when I came back to this country after 19 years of absence, I supported Raila Odinga not because he was a Luo. I supported Raila Odinga because I believed in him, because I believe he had a vision, because I believe he was capable of change. When I realized that he was not, and he was just a conman trying to manipulate the country so that he could get power and wealth, I abandoned him. And we've had a fallout. I do not regret having a fallout, because as I was telling a writer yesterday, how did Hitler rise to the position of leading Germany and then killing all the Jews? There was a time everybody loved him. But was he a good leader? So just because at some point in time people love you doesn't mean necessarily that you're good. How about Idi Amin? He managed to overthrow a legitimately elected government, a popular one, and yet, and through the military, which means the military supported him. Was he a good leader? How about now Mugabe? Mugabe, who shares a lot of similarities with Raila Odinga. Their age, their so-called revolutionary background, even their demeanor is almost the same. And now he's a bone-cracking dictator. How about Bokassa, emperor? I mean, so all these people, to rise to the level where you are a leader, you are loved. But it doesn't mean that when you start doing wrong things, that those who are closest to you must continue to sing Hosanna. And Miguna is telling them, I am not a sycophant. I have never been a sycophant. And in fact, I see so many people warning me through social media and whatnot, oh, they will not even hire you. So what if they don't hire me? I mean, when I started supporting Raila, I was a barrister and solicitor in Canada. I'm still a barrister and solicitor in Canada. My brain, I don't lose my brain because somebody has become president. So it would not matter to me that somebody is not going to hire me because I can hire myself.
Let's ask this question that I'm sure you've been asked a lot of times before this. Why did you come out and start talking about these things in the public domain after the fallout? Why not before?
That's a good question. People forget that actually I started talking about these things before fallout. Before fallout. Makau Mutua, this rabid man from New York, attacked me during the constitutional review, saying that I had opposed Raila Odinga and ODM when I was still Raila's advisor. And he advocated for me to be fired. How can people forget so fast? You only need to Google Makau Mutua and look at his articles, and you will find one where he attacked me when I was still an advisor. And he was saying I should not be able to oppose what Raila was saying. So I started doing this. People were noticing. I opposed when they were betraying ODM itself, because there was a point that ODM was campaigning for a parliamentary system, and at some point Raila told me that he needed ultimate power. And I had drafted, with my friend Mutaa Kangu, a classic parliamentary system for ODM to present and demand the country to embrace that. And he said, I took all the power from the executive and dispersed it down, devolved it. And he wanted undiluted power. Raila Odinga is the one who proposed this presidential system. It was not Kibaki. And we were at a meeting in Harambee House. That's something people should know. So all he has been going for all these years is ultimate undiluted power. What is it that he wanted to do with this power? He wanted to be able to accumulate the power because he feels good when he's powerful, and he wanted to use it to loot the country so that he can become a trillionaire, not a billionaire because he's already a billionaire. So I oppose these things. And if you talk with anybody on the Prime Minister's side, they will tell you I always opposed him in meetings. For example, the CIC chair, Charles Nyachai, will tell you that at a meeting that I had with them, with the Prime Minister, I told them that they should not take bills to members of parliament or to the cabinet and have it drafted there. They should draft the bills with the Attorney General's office and with the Law Reform Commission and have that taken directly to parliament so that the constitution would not be diluted. So they allowed that to be done, and they opposed me then. People cannot forget too fast, and you cannot attack Miguna too fast. Then go to my website or records of my articles in the Star newspaper, and you will find that since I came back to Kenya in 2007, I have written more than 400 articles against corruption, against tribalism, against abuse of power. And that was even before I started working for Raila. And that continued throughout the time that I was working for him. I'm the only person, high-ranking official, that was working in the government that was attacking misgovernance within the same government. So they can't have it so easily like that.
So let's step away for a little.